Well, it's been a long while since an update, and that's because I haven't made exactly too much, if any, progress. I'm getting spark, I'm getting fuel pressure, pumps coming on. I'm not getting anything to the rails, though. There's nothing in the combustion chamber, so therefore it does not start on its own fuel delivery. Spray some carb cleaner in there, it will shoot right on in, and it will crank up until it runs out of that fluid. But fuel delivery is not happening on its own. Not getting a pulse to the injectors, I believe. As to whether that's a bad ground or bad injectors, I do not know. I'm getting battery voltage to at least 2 of the injectors, but the ohm resistance is in the negatives, which is totally backwards. It's supposed to have battery voltage at all of them, with a resistance of about 15 ohms to the fusible link, but I am not getting that on those 2. On the other 4, the ohm resistance is higher, it's closer to 20, but I'm also getting a negative on the power circuit for the injector ECU plug-in harness to the fusible link, which is supposed to be at about 0 ohms, and I'm in the negatives for that as well. So that's why I suspect bad ground. Check my relays, fusible links. Been looking through wire harnesses, trying to find anything that's not looking fancy or how it's supposed to, but so far no luck. Shout out to Sam, because I've been meaning to do that but haven't, so there's your shout out, my dude. Other than that, I was getting ready to take out the distributor so I could get test to see if I can get my injectors to click. But seeing as how you gotta take that out, make sure it's at TDC, top dead center already, and then you cannot mess it up when it's going back in, or else I will mess up the entire timing of my engine. So therefore, I'm gonna wait until somebody with more experience will be able to have their hands on this, because they're definitely way better at setting distributors than I would be, considering this would be my first one. So definitely gonna want him on that. Another problem I found, very interesting. Get up in here. There's my it's my MAF. Oh, this whole part comes out, and let's see if I can. There it is. There's a hole in my air intake. Now, whereas that's actually not causing the problem for my startup, because I've unplugged it and still no crank, so, or no start. It will crank for fucking ever. So just try and whatever I can until I get extra hands for that distributor. Swap the fuel hoses, no luck there. Kink the return, no luck there. Kink the fuel line, no luck there. Knocked every solenoid I can see with a wrench, no luck there. So there's definitely something going on with my connectivity back from the harness to the ECU, telling it to fire the injectors, pulse them, just so I can get fuel in the combustion chamber so it can run. Now, spray starting fluid in here, it'll fucking come right to life, no problems. So, just not getting its own fuel, having to figure that one out. That one's gonna be fun. Other than that, I mean, I've cleaned up the interior a bit. Looking, got all nice and vacuumed, cleaned up. That still looks like ass because my fuel pump runs constantly when it's plugged in. Just doesn't shut off. So that's better than it not running at all. So I'll take what I can get, and I just gotta make sure I unplug it every time I get out of the car or stop using it. So the only thing, probably try to add a relay, see if that will make it function how it's supposed to. Took off the tint for these windows as well, all detinted. Gonna be redoing that, but add in a relay, see if it works like it should, because in the case that I flip over unconscious upside down in a ditch, that fuel is not gonna stop running. So that could 100% turn into a problem. But I mean, other than the fuel, it's just coming together. Gonna have to get new tires, no problem there. That's figured. Interesting thing though, Oh, pop-up up and down headlights do not work, but I can turn them by hand, so that's an interesting thing. Oh, it's on jacks, yes, but I still don't think that the shock well is supposed to be that close to the fucking tire. So, probably we will be having to replace these. I would like to go back to OEM first until I learn what's the deal with the adjustable shock, because I do have controls because it's a turbo model. So I'll have to figure out if it would be better just to get coilovers or go back to the stock system. Fun stuff. Cleaned up the outside, got rid of most of that green stuff. It's nasty. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Pretty much it's just a standstill, testing about everything I can to figure out why the injectors aren't coming on and it's not supplying itself with its own fuel. Definitely got gas in there, put fuel injector cleaner in there, so I mean that's out of the question. I get fuel out of the filter. Whether it's enough pressure or not, I do not know. But because I don't have a fuel pressure tester thingamajigger. But it's enough in my mind. So that's where we're at. Shout out to Sam and Seb, although I don't know if he watches these. But that's where we are. And kind of stuck, but made some progress. We're just stuck at fuel now, so everything else is coming together. Got new terminals on there as well, because I didn't like the old ones, so clean those up. Been starting to follow harnesses, label shit, learning the engine. It's all good stuff. So that's where we are. Reservoir tank up there because it was nasty, and I realized that it was still in a way hooked up, so I was like, fuck it, let me clean it, throw it back in there. Although I don't think it actually uses the fluid from it anymore, at least not from the top end, but that might just be for a vacuum, so figure that out as we go. Right now it's not important, so what isn't important is why